Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Creative Mind Podcast. I almost said my old podcast, but I didn't. Welcome back to the Creative Mind. I'm your host, Byron Craig, and today we're doing something different. We're supporting local photography. I know you couldn't hear me say that, but supporting local photography. That's what we're doing today. My guest today is a Dallas-based photographer. He is the owner, founder, CEO, chief branding officer, chief marketing officer, PR, HR. I mean, he does it all. It's his company. For his own photography company, it is called K.Dotsoul Photography. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to the stage, to the podcast, my brother, Kern Hagley.
Wow. That's the nicest intro I think I've ever had. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hey, if there's one thing I'm going to do right, I'm going to do an intro right, and I'm going to make people feel amazing. I'm going to hype you up.
Appreciated, my God. Much appreciated.
Dude, I appreciate you doing this.
No, I mean, it was a long time coming. I was really running from you. I'm not going to lie.
I know.
I was running for my dear life, and and then I saw my friends and colleagues. I'm like, hey, like, you got that person on the pod? And like, all right, I guess I should probably do this thing. I mean, and stop being scared. But yeah, like being on this side of the camera, not my thing.
Oh, I don't like it either. But I mean, but we here though.
But we're here. We're just going. I apologize in advance for what's about to be said.
No need to apologize. We stick our foot in our mouths a lot around here, but also we're vulnerable. So,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Once I got Drew on first, and I was like, okay. Then Vinny did it, and I'm like, okay. Last but not least, to complete our trio, or I guess the trio of friends.
Yeah,
would be you, but there's four of us.
No, it was a domino effect, and like when one domino fell, it was a matter of time before all the others fell, and so
absolutely.
And here I am. So thank you, appreciate you having me on.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll try not to wreck this the Creative Mind.
There's no wreck it. If anybody's gonna wreck it, it's gonna be me. All right. Opening question, opening salvo. Who is Kern?
That's a great question. Kern is a seasoned man at this point. May not look it, but bringing in at 37, 38 at the end of the year. I don't even know how to describe myself, man. I'm just very chill, very relaxed, very down to earth most times. I try to keep nothing but peace around me. And for the longest, I thought I was one thing. And then, as I got a little bit older, I realized maybe not so much this one thing anymore. And, I'm a multitude of things, and I'm just figuring out how I can express that in the best way. Sometimes creatively, sometimes just being a husband, sometimes just being a man of God, sometimes just being myself. It's really just me figuring out each and every single day, like, all right, what makes me me? And then how can I make the people around me feel open and feel welcome and feel all these things that, like just wonderful and joy. So I like seeing people happy, like making people happy, often at my own expense, really. But I'm just a guy who loves nice things and cameras, and I have an affinity for a lot. So like this can go any direction, and I will be totally fine with it.
Hey, I mean, we got Star Wars in the back.
We got Star Wars in the back.
Millennium we got like a soccer jersey on the side.
It's actually a football jersey. It's a Tennessee Titans jersey that this is how dope my friends are. Artist named Alicia back in Virginia. So I moved to Dallas from Virginia by way of Northern VA. Shout out the old crew. She is actually a super dope artist herself, and so she does paintings. And one year I think this was a Christmas gift, she knows Tennessee Titans was my favorite team. She drew that, put an 87 on the back, which is the year I was born.
Shout out.
Shout out to 87 babies. And yeah, threw it on there, and it's like, yo, I'm taking this everywhere I go. Like this is like the dopest thing. Someone made, like, handcrafted a jersey for me with my name on it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Heck yeah.
You must be real excited that y'all got Cam Ward.
You know, it's even better because I'm also a Miami Hurricane fan, and I loved watching him ball out all season long. I think this is the best year we've had in a while. Like things have been on the uptick, but like ever since we got him this past season, like it felt right. Obviously, a couple games didn't go our way, and so we missed the whole college playoff and everything. But for Tennessee to also have such a terrible season, and we can land like at least the best player from Miami this year, I was happy about that. So, and can we trust?
Yeah. And can we trust?
Miami can do it. Tennessee can do it. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm ready for it.
I don't know, man. I don't have much faith. Since Air McNair days, I don't have much faith in Tennessee.
And this is how you know I'm a diehard fan, because I'm there for the highs and the lows. So
many.
We've had some really good seasons. We've had some pretty good seasons in between. So like Steve McNair, Eddie George, they're the reasons why I even started liking the Tennessee Titans. I'm not from America, so when I got into American football, I picked all my teams based off my favorite color, so blue. Just a hint there. And Titans had a brand new stadium, brand new jersey, and that kind of cool. And they happened to be good at the time, so it's like, okay, I guess this is just my team, and I've been rock with them for the last 20-something odd years.
If you like blue, you could have come to be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, Cowboys blue doesn't look so good to me.
It's the same blue, basically.
It's a little stale. I like something vibrant.
Dang. Dude, back in the day, I used to have probably like 6 or 7 Steve McNair signed baseball or football cards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What did you do with them?
I don't know.
It's like they're just lost in some.
I remember they were at my mom's house when we moved from an apartment to a house, from the house to her townhome, or her house to another apartment. I don't know what happened to them. I mean, they very well may be.
Most people don't even have one. Yet you had 6. And
my mom's best friend before she passed. She went to Alcorn State, I guess, with Steve McNair, and they were really good friends. So every time I would open baseball cards or football cards or whatever, she would actually take them and go get them signed for him, and then bring them back.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
I wonder if they're.
You are a terrible person for just letting those disappear. But I get it. You were young. Byron wasn't as careful as he is probably today.
Well, young Byron didn't know that Steve McNair, unfortunately, was going to get unalived, and then it would make I didn't think that was going to happen. So
no, I mean that's why baseball cards are a thing, right? Like people. You never know who the next star is going to be. And then when they come and you're like, oh, this guy played for 20 years and MVP and Hall of Famer. And then, oh, hey, I happen to have a signed rookie card of his. And then you're like, man, just take that to the bank.
Now that we're talking about it, I kind of want to go ask my mom where they're at, if they even exist anymore. I mean, they have to, right?
I imagine they're probably in a box in the garage somewhere, just collecting dust. Hopefully in protective sleeve or something.
Oh yeah, they were I had the little the little books yeah. That was my thing back in the day, collecting baseball cards. That was my thing. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I too had a passion for it. Same with Pokemon cards. I used to get Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. I was just a card collector myself, and then somewhere along the line, I just stopped. I grew up, I guess.
He said, I grew up.
I guess I grew up.
I never really ever got into. Well, I mean, granted, my mother would not let me play Pokemon. She was like, just like I couldn't watch Ren and Stimpy. No, it's bad for you.
Well, the Pokemon I don't get, but the Ren and Stimpy, it was not a show for kids. It may have been a cartoon, but it was definitely not a show for kids.
Yeah. I walked, my oldest was in the other room the other day watching Ren and Stimpy, and I was like, what? I don't remember this.
Where'd you find this? Who told you about this?
But see, the thing is, she don't want to watch, the good cartoons. She don't want to watch the Dougs and the Rugrats of the world. And I'm like, That Hey Arnold, like come
Hey
on.
Arnold, Angry Beavers. Oh my god, the memories.
Angry Beavers. Oh, I remember that.
Man. I was like, oh man, we can go on a whole Nickelodeon tangent right now.
Dude, we could, because I remember, this is how old I am. Well, I mean, we're the same age. Yeah. I remember putting in VHS tapes and hitting record, or like setting up the record to record Super Bowls, Angry Beavers, Hey Arnold episodes.
No, I mean, that was definitely same era. So I was recording my own things. One of my favorite things, I used to be that guy that would record music on cassettes all the time.
Dude, same.
So less video, but definitely, boy, I would make you a mixtape in a heartbeat. Like, oh, like, hey, let me put you on some good music real quick. And hey, just listen to this, Summer Jams '96, bam.
You said Summer Jams '96. Oh my god,
that was me. That was me,
bro. I went to in my private school, because I went there from 4th to 12th grade. I was the burn CD guy. Like, that was my thing. Like, burn CDs, make me a list, $5 a CD, bro. That was my thing. LimeWire, Napster.
Mm-hmm.
Morpheus. Oh man.
Dude, that was like, had you went to my college, I was the guy that was like looking forward to it every single week. The guy that we knew came with the CDs, DVDs, whatever.
Oh man.
Oh, $5? Oh yeah. Let me get the Kings of Comedy up real quick.
Oh dude, yes.
whatever you got that I don't have, like, I got $5.
Of course.
Let me see what you got.
$5 was nothing, dude. And then I used to do Handbrake to make DVDs. Oh man, that's like the beginning, round around there when I started getting creative. That was kind of like maybe like illegal creative, but it was creative nonetheless.
Was it really illegal? I mean, is it really illegal? I mean, how much are these artists really starving?
Well,
but now being artists, I get it.
Now right. They're probably starving a lot, but back in the day, it was better.
And watching those music videos and like, hey, like, I seen your house, like that mansion that you're at and the car that you're driving, you look like you're doing well, only to now find out that all of that stuff is just fluff for the video and you don't actually own any of it. Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. I didn't realize you were faking it till you make it. So my bad. I didn't mean to, copy this or, buy that from the black market dealers.
Now, MTV Cribs was such a lie.
You know what? And speaking of MTV Cribs, he popped up on my Instagram the other day, Redman, because he recreated that Kevin Hart interview.
Oh, yeah.
But I really appreciate his MTV Cribs interview, because that was probably like the most real I ever seen any of those celebrities, like, figures back then. Like,
oh, of course.
Like, bro, he took you to his legit house in Jersey.
Oh, absolutely. Like, he was straight in Brick City, just like, hey, come on in.
Come on in. Hey, I got a box of dollar bills on top of the refrigerator. I still remember this random cash in a box on top of the refrigerator. I don't even know who actually does that, but Redman does that. Shout out Redman.
Shout out Redman.
Yeah.
Dude, epic.
Definitely for keeping it real.
Epic. I mean, that was the only way. Like, he was one of the only ones. Lil Wayne, Rob from Rob and Big, all them dudes was just lying. I'm like, and man, the crazy thing is, back in the day, that was like our Instagram. Like, we're like, yo, we can get that. We can achieve that. Now everybody's got Instagram and they're like, oh, you're flying private? I want to fly private too. Mm-hmm. But they're at some little janky like studio with a little fuselage built that looks like they're flying private. It's like, come on.
Yeah, a little bit of Photoshop and some movie magic, you can make anything look like you're living the life. And there's very few authentic people, I guess, out there, and everyone's trying to be the next big thing. I'm like, bro, just be yourself. Like, that's all anybody wants from me. Like, why be Kern or why be Byron? Like, just be who you are.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one me. There's only one you. Like, God made us the way he made us so easy.
I agree.
And it's to be ourselves, not to be like anybody else.
Facts. So. I agree. Why be someone else? Why not just be yourself?
Exactly. You already have enough problems. Like, you don't want to add somebody else's problems to your plate.
Facts.
That
Facts. I don't want
that
nobody else's problems.
yeah.
Tomorrow got enough problem to deal. Tomorrow has its own
Right.
problems.
I'm still dealing with today's problems, so tomorrow I
Facts.
have to wait.
Seriously. So, how did you find creativity? Like, you said you weren't born in America. I know you were born outside of America. You were born in Trinidad.
Born in Trinidad.
Island boy.
Moved to America when I was 4, so very young. So during my, I guess, informative years, not informative. What is the
Formative?
Not it's okay. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Who's gonna check us?
Correct me. So someone will, I guess. But in my most malleable years, I learned to speak proper English, and so I don't have the very thick, heavy accent like I should, but it comes out around my family. But anyway, that's beside the point. Moved to America when I was 4, and I don't know, just been. I don't know if I necessarily would say I was creative at a young age. I really didn't lean into like creativity until I probably got a lot older. And when I say a lot older, I mean like probably like college years. So
really?
Like kept it very, very mild, very tame. Like, just like every other person in high school, like I had good grades. I, played sports, did the thing. And like my whole thing was like, okay, I gotta go to college because that's what they sold us as the American dream. You gotta go to college to get a really fancy, big American job or corporate job. And so I did that. I didn't know, I knew I had a passion for a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. So like my interest spanned a lot. I can, one day I wanted to be a movie director. Next day I could have been an astronaut. The other day I could have been a marine biologist. Like I could have done anything and gone any which direction, and I chose the most boring one of them all. I chose to be a business administration major. Shout out to all my business admin majors in college. I'm like, you know what? This feels safe, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a good corporate job after this. I took 2 like sports marketing classes in high school.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I'll just business administration / marketing, and I'm going to find a job and be, some big ad guy on like Madison Avenue or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that's what my life was going to be like. So it was just very much about going to college, going to school, getting good grades, getting a like I said, a big fancy job somewhere, and just living life. My goal was to wear a different suit every single day. So I wanted to be like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey had like a weird influence on me. I was like, oh, okay, if he can wear a different suit every single day, like that's his thing, I want to be able to wear a different suit every single day. So that was my my like first goal. It's like just do well enough to be that guy, just come suited and booted everywhere and just look nice and people remember you for that. So go to college, kind of had some up and down years in college, but who didn't, right? But when I graduated, got a job and landed, like I said, a really decent job that I was in for just under a decade. So it's like 9 and some odd months or something like that. And I was doing really well in my 20s, just making a ton of money, but I wasn't really enjoying life at all.
Sure.
Like I would just work and stack money, and money was great. But then like Instagram came out and Facebook, and I'm like, man, like so-and-so's on vacation, so-and-so's having so much fun. Like I see what they want me to see, and I'm like, man, like this person's really enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to work though, real quick, because I got continue stacking this money that I'm not using to enjoy myself. And yeah, then I just fell into a nice big rut where I'm like, you know what, I'm happy. I am unhappy with my life and how it's going, and something's got to change.
Yeah.
And I had the blessing of actually taking a break and going on vacation to visit a photographer friend of mine who was a friend of mine back in high school. We also went to the same college. So friend many years. He was in China at the time. He was in a small town called Yantai. From there, I guess he moved to a bigger city, Shanghai. So this was Trump's first administration. He's in Shanghai, and he's like, "Hey, Trump is being himself." Uh, they're basically making me come home at the end of the year. So like he had been begging me for years to come visit. So I'm like, you know what? If you're being forced to leave by the end of the year, and I kept saying I was going to come,
Yeah.
now would be the time. So I was like, all right, cool. I booked a flight, went to hang out with him in China, in Shanghai for 2 weeks. And he took me, so many places, and it was such an experience. But he was, like I said, he was a photographer, and here I am, like just a guy with my little cell phone. It's like, I want to take a little bit better pictures than that. And so I asked him for a couple, like, hey, like, what's a good beginner camera that I could bring to kind of take a couple decent photos with? So he points me in the direction of a few, and he really loves this like Sony, and he's a Nikon shooter, by the way. He's a Nikon Canon guy, at least at the time. But he points me in the direction of this Sony A6300. And little, APS-C camera. It was cool, mirrorless. It was kind of, the thing, kind of the way the market's going.
Yeah.
And I buy it. Cool. Got a little bundle on Amazon. Go to China, take a couple pics. Actually, kind of like start enjoying it a little bit. So this is 2018. My first time picking up a camera. I'm like, okay, well, I bought this thing. I better keep using it. Like I spent a decent amount of money on it.
Yeah.
And after that trip, I was like, man, like, I got to start using it. So I started going to like photo walks and photo meetups and stuff like that back in like DC. And eventually, the more I started going and practicing, like people started recognizing me and was like, hey, like you take pretty good photos. Can you take photos of me for this thing? And like, oh, I'll pay you X amount of dollars for it. It's like, you're willing to pay me? For me? Okay. Yeah, let's do it. And mind you, I'm very amateur at the time. Like, I don't even think I'm very good. But if people are willing to pay me for it, it says that I'm probably doing a lot better than I think I am.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my photography kind of journey began. Like, I was very much just headstrong corporate business guy. And don't get me wrong, like I said, my job afforded me a nice life that I, coming from humble beginnings, I didn't have before. So I was very blessed to have that be a part of my story, be a part of my tale, or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah.
I grew unhappy living in that world. And yeah, man, like the stress, and I was going through health issues at the time, like a culmination of things and factors just kind of started adding up. And I was like, man, like I needed to get out of here. So the only thing that brought me any joy at the time was taking photos. And so I continued just taking photos of whatever or whoever was willing to pay me, but also I just enjoyed going to, like I said, those photo walks and being a part of groups and collaborating with people. And even though, like not getting paid from that type of event, just the joy of like, oh, all right, cool. I'm not doing something work related. And my life had been nothing but work. So to do something not that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I see why my boy has been doing this for like the last decade. Like, where have I been?
Yeah.
Here I am now just trying to catch up. So
I like it.
I don't know. That was really long-winded. I don't know if I even answered your question.
No, I mean, no, it wasn't long-winded. It's the journey of where you came from. The less I have to talk, because I like hearing other people's stories, and the less I have to talk, the better.
Yeah.
The better.
The better.
Yeah, I mean, so where did you go to college?
So, and this is why I say my college journey was kind of interesting. So I am my first year of college, I went to HBCU, Virginia State University.
Okay.
Honestly, I did not enjoy myself.
Dang.
I had fun. I had a great time. Like, but the reason why I didn't like it was I didn't feel like I was being challenged academically.
Ooh.
So I know that sounds weird to say. I apologize. No. Sorry, Trojans. My bad. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to my number one school, the school I should have went to the first time. That's Virginia Commonwealth University, so VCU, so Rams. You might have seen them in the NCAA tournament a couple years ago, like Eric Snow, like they made it pretty deep in the tournament. So went there for like 2 years and then got sick. So I have sickle cell for those who don't know or those who do know me. But those who don't, I have a blood disorder called sickle cell anemia. And like many other times in my life, I was going through a couple of health issues. So health issues basically forced me out of school for a little while. So I was just home healing and working for 2 years. Sorry, yeah, 2 years before I was able to actually save up enough to go back because I paid for college outside of my first year, which I had a little bit of help, but outside of that, I really between my own money and FAFSA money, I paid for college myself.
Wow.
So it took me a little while, like I said, to go back. So after that, I then transferred, going back. Old Dominion University. Okay. And that's where my degree is from. However, in the course of all my, whatever transferring credits, like what did come over, what didn't come over, my very last ever college course I took at George Mason University. So I just one class, very last class, like I said, I had to ever take. Took at George Mason University, which is more north than all those other schools. But I've been around the college block. So if anybody wants to know anything about a college in Virginia, I've been to like at least half. So
you've been around the Commonwealth, man.
I've been all around the Commonwealth. So college was a journey or a process for me, but I loved it. It was good years, good times.
Yeah. I mean, you got the experience of an HBCU, which is dope. I went and toured as a kid. I went to tour like a bunch, Dillard, Xavier, Langston Hughes in Oklahoma. And I was like, oh, I knew myself. I would never study. I just party. And I'm like, okay. So you got like the HBCU experience. You got like the VCU. You were around the prim and proper.
Sorry, is that bad to say? I'm sorry.
It's not bad to say. You were around the prim and the proper.
Oh, yeah.
You had to be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah,
had to speak
very, very much so. But I will say all the schools of every school I went to, they were all very diverse.
Oh, of course.
And not like forced diversity. Like they were very much like just diverse in general. So like VCU being in the heart of Richmond, like we there.
Yeah.
Old Dominion being, northern, like Virginia Beach area, Norfolk.
We there.
We out there.
We
like
there.
Norfolk State, literally like 2 blocks away. Like, trust me, we're definitely around.
We there.
And then DC being a very diverse city itself, like going to George Mason, like, trust me, we're definitely around. So I've always been in very diverse colleges and had, like I said, I like people and people like me, I think. So I get along with everybody. So
I think we can all agree.
I'm good with okay, that's this friend group, that's this friend group. I'm in here in the middle, but you know what? I'm good with everybody. So.
Yeah. I think we can, like I said, I think we can all agree that we like you the way that you are.
I appreciate that.
All right. So you end up leaving corporate job and you say you're unsatisfied. I can tell you right now, and you're like the perfect person to talk to about this because we can talk about it in real time. I am the day by day, I grow more and more unsatisfied with my job and with feeling like a slave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the fact that I want to just up and quit because I mean, obviously have family, have fiance, stepson, all that. Can't just up and quit and not have any money. But I'm like, I just don't want to work for anybody anymore. And I know you know that feeling.
No, I know that feeling. And I was unhappy for a really long time. So I don't want you to think like, oh, I picked up a camera and then I immediately quit my job. Like,
No,
no,
no, no.
it was years. So like, I got my first camera, like I said, 2018. I didn't actually quit my big boy job until 2023. So it had been in the works for a long while, but basically once I got to 30 or just a little over, what I cared about and valued in life changed. Like I'm a little bit older now. Like I don't value money as much. I value experiences, and all of my time is being monopolized by being at this place. And so I can't do anything unless I request PTO. And not that I was ever really denied like time off or anything,
Sure.
but it was just the fact that like, man, like I have to plan in advance, like, hey, like I'm gonna be out of the office. And so like I don't care about money this much anymore. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know I have a mortgage. Like, I do care about money enough to make sure, like, hey, like things are getting paid.
Of
But it's
course.
like, man, like my priorities in life shifted, and being in this place is just draining whatever of myself is like left. Like, it's just soaking me up day and night, and like I can't even enjoy the reward I get from it, which is, like I said, it was just all monetary at the time. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, like the company I worked for, it definitely had its perks, but it wasn't something that I cared about anymore. Yeah. So between, I guess, 2018 and 2023, and having a lot of different life shifts or transitions in life, I moved from the DC, Northern Virginia area here to Dallas. I got married. Shout out to my lovely wife, Gabby.
Shout out, Gabby.
Like I said, we bought a house. She and I had talked about like transitioning from like me transitioning from work to being, entrepreneur, what that would look like. So we had conversations about it, and thank God I have her, because she has been the most supportive person. And I know most days, some days it doesn't look very pretty, but she's always encouraging and trying to be uplifting. And even when I don't feel accomplished or like I'm doing enough in myself, like she's always been that backbone, like to be that support, be like, hey, like, no, like you're doing better than you think you are. I'm gonna make sure that I'm holding you down. Like I got you. And so through this whole process, she's done exactly to her word, and I thank God every day for it, because like I don't know if I thank her enough, but I thank God for it. It's like really making this process a lot easier, because being the man in your position that I know you're unhappy where you're at, like, trust me, I get it. Like any day, anything could have just set me off. Like, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm out. But like I said, you not having that luxury, because you have to support, like I said, your kids. Yeah. And, you have, like I said, your fiance, and you're also, so many other things you have that you're working through. It's not easy to just pick up and leave. And so, like my transition, it wasn't just cut and dry. Like, hey, like I'm out, I'm done. No, like it was methodical. But when it did happen, it did happen very quickly. I'll tell the story real quick. So the day I actually told my boss, like, hey, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm leaving. Busy Monday morning. Like I'm the first, I got the keys to the office. So I'm the first one there. I'm the last one to leave. But busy Monday morning, I don't even know if anything happened to me. I just walked in, and probably like around like 8, 9, I'm just all like, you know what? Let me send this text message. Hey, give me a call real quick when you have a free moment. Now, my boss never, like, she's busier than I am, especially on the first thing on the Monday morning. She calls me like immediately.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing this thing. Like, I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, hey, just give me a call. And we're on the phone, and I just tell her like, hey, I think I'm just done. I'm out. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah. This is me telling you that I'm going to put my 2 weeks notice in. And she was just like stunned. Like I hit her with a curveball.
Of course.
It was not expected. And I'm just like, I'm sorry.
I love the way you ask that question.
No,
Like,
this is the appropriate, but it's like, yeah, like, hey, I think, yeah, like, I'm just, like, what, and she knew I was going through like some health problems and stuff like that. So it was like, I don't know if she could foresee it coming, but
yeah,
she definitely didn't anticipate it coming if it did, as soon as it did. But I was like, you know what, I just want to focus on, getting my health back, and I'll figure out things from there. Whatever. But I remember being Monday morning, and then uh, called Gabby and like, hey, I might have did a thing. um,
y'all, because
but
y'all
she
hadn't talked,
was,
because y'all didn't
but
talk about it beforehand, right?
we no, and like I said, we talked about it beforehand, and she at the time, she's prayer warrior. She encouraged me to pray, like, hey, pray about it, and I remember, so like obviously you and I go to the same church, Social Dallas. There was one message in particular, and shout out PR, but there was one message in particular when Mike Todd came, I guess a couple of years ago now, and like it was during one of our turn up services, and they tried to hide it, but then when it finally got announced, like 6 p.m. service basically.
Yep.
Um,
His birthday.
We're in the house, Gabby and I are in the house, we're listening, and the message was just very convicting. I was like, man, like, what am I doing? Like, I need to have crazier faith. And that was me, like, really leading into that moment. It's like, okay, like, if he can have crazy faith and do all these things, like, the story of Transformation Church and everything. Yeah. So we don't have to go through it. But I just was so compelled, and like it hit like really hard. Like, you know what? Like, why don't I have any faith in myself? Like, I think I'm pretty good. I've had a couple, past success in this thing. I can do it. I can do it. And I just driving home, I'm like bawling my eyes out as I'm driving. And, like I said, the conversation. So it was very much like, again, something that was premeditated, but it was like the way it happened definitely felt like it came on a whim.
Yeah.
Just that moment.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Now, about that day.
Yeah.
Crazy enough that you mentioned that, because on my bathroom mirrors, I have that sermon series. Well, I have what he said.
Sermon series.
Yeah, I mean, I have what he said at the very end, and it's in his book, but it says, pray until something happens, prophesy until something happens, pour until something happens, and praise until something happens. So push. So mind you, it's Social's second birthday, and he comes to the 6 p.m. service. And so all of that happens. And I have that very moment. I don't know why the Holy Spirit told me to put my phone out, but I recorded on my phone. And then a couple weeks later, they play Social at home, and they play that moment again. And I screen record it and I keep it. And like the Holy Spirit just kept telling me, like, have crazy faith, like push. And I'm like, okay. So maybe like 2-3 weeks later, we're doing like connect group stuff. And Eve, shout out the great Eve Batoba. He's like asking questions. And so I answer one of the questions, and he gives me a book. And the book that he gives me is Crazy Faith by Mike Todd. And it was his personal copy, because he told me, he's like, before I left the house, I had all these other books, but the Holy Spirit told me to grab my copy of Crazy Faith and just put it in there. And I was like, bruh, what? No way. And then I told him the whole story, and he was like, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, and now that you mention it, it's like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, that evening, it was already something that was on my heart already.
Yeah.
And God had been pulling me to like, hey, like, you are more than your title at work. And though people depend on you, like, you deserve to be happy. And I was no longer happy. So like I said, it was all something that was going to happen eventually. But then getting into that series and getting into the Crazy Faith series from Pastor Todd. And then when he came to Social, I was like, oh, bro, like, I see it live.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I got knocked upside my head that night. And you gotta make moves. I'm not sure how fast you need me to make this move, but you're gonna make moves with the Holy Spirit. And It wasn't the Monday immediately after, but it was very quickly after that message because, gosh, I guess I've been gone now 2 years. Like
Yeah.
I'm like June of 23 is when I quit. So yeah, like coming up June next month would be 2 years since I've left and just been doing this photography thing. So, it's an amazing journey. I'm super blessed to know, all my people at social, all my connections outside of social, the opportunities that I've been given, opportunities that I'll get in the future, and just people I've worked with. Not every day, like I said, it's all sunshine and rainbows. It's real. It's work.
Yeah.
And you have to actually be the one to do it. It's one thing having a job and you kind of like know where you need to be, what time, like the process of everything is broken down for you. But when you're a business owner, you really have to like make yourself like, hey, I'm not going to sleep in until 10:30 today. Like I can't do that. I got things to do. I got to send out emails. I got to, put out feelers. I need to make marketing content for myself. I need to let people know what I do. Like, for the longest time, I was very naive in the beginning stages, thinking like, "Oh, I have established work. Like people have paid me before. I'm just going to make an LLC and a website and think like, oh, well, now all the pieces are there. I just have to sit back and just watch the clients flow in."
Yep.
And
it didn't happen that way.
It didn't happen that way. No, like that was this is the part where I put my foot in my mouth. It's like, God was very humbling in that moment. It's like, hey, like it's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. You need to also work at this other thing. Like you're great at your other work and doing what you were told to do for someone else, but now I need you to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's been, don't get me wrong, like I said, I enjoy it every single day. I don't regret any of the decisions I've made, but it's not as easy being a full-time entrepreneur as most people may think. And not that anyone preaches that it's the easiest job in the world, but it really is something like if you love it, you gotta really love it. Because it's one thing with creatives, man, like we love doing the art. We don't love doing the business side of it because that's all boring. Like that's all the stuff that, like I left this corporate sphere to like not do any of that.
Right.
Now I'm like, hey, do all of that, plus also still figure out a way to be creative. And so, you have to just figure out like what works for you, like what keeps you grounded and focused, like what's your vision, what's your goal, like what you've been working towards, what you're building towards. But then you're also like, hey, let me also make sure that I'm responding to inquiries. On top of like, hey, like what's the next vision for my next project? So yeah. It's certainly definitely a process, definitely a journey. So
for sure. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me for like 30 seconds because I'm still trying to process what you said earlier and like just telling the crazy face story. Because like earlier today, the episode that comes out next week with my friend Michelle Watterson, who fought in the UFC. I guess her name's Michelle Watterson Gomez. We were literally the very tail end of what we were talking about. We were talking about about jobs, and she owns a bunch of like stuff and she's an entrepreneur and stuff. And anyway, so she was like, you just need to take the leap. And she's like, I'll push you off if you need the leap, I will be the one to push you off. And then I was like, oh, the Lord will just give me a sign when it's time. And I was like, I didn't think nothing else of it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting here talking about crazy faith. And like, that was a very pivotal moment for me 2 years ago. Jeez, that's crazy. 2 years ago. And I was just like in the middle of you talking. I'm just it's processing.
Dude, trust me. Like I said, I get it. I went through everything you're going through right now. And that leap is not easy to just jump off of.
No,
because it's not easy to give up some of the, quality of life improvements I've built for myself. Yeah. Like, having a company car, having an expensive couch. Don't get me wrong. I miss having all of those things.
Of course. Who wouldn't?
Maybe I don't make quite as much money as I used to make, but I don't miss it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I guess I would say, if I can be encouraging to you, and not that I want you to make a drastic move like I made, but like your children are a little bit older.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
it's not like they're infants and like
no.
depend on you fully to survive. Like
No.
your children will understand. And I think they probably want that for you. Like they want to see big break happen.
Yeah.
And they want to see the Creative Mind Pod blow up even bigger than it has now. Like, seeing Ari at church, like how much she's learned photography from you, just how heavily you're involved, and see her serving and picking up a camera, like the path you're leading your children down. Even Peyton, like they're their own little creatives, and you know, like I see it. Like they're gonna be. I can't wait to see what Peyton develops into, because she's already such an amazing artist. Like I still have the picture she drew me. It's in my. I keep it in my bag, actually. I don't take it out of my camera bag. Like I still have it there, just because, like, wow, like on like a random, like, hey, draw this thing for me, and she just went and drew it.
Yep.
I was like, just the way her mind was like, oh, I'm gonna get to work. You gave me instructions, I got it, and that's what God is doing to you right now. He's giving you the instruction, but the work is not going to do itself. Like that pile of bricks is over there. It's just going to stay a pile of bricks until you start putting your hands to it.
Yeah.
And I know you're talented enough. I know you're creative enough. You're doing this on top of being miserable at work. Like you already have the faith. Like it's there. You just have to step into what, you know, God has for you.
I have to do it.
You said Michelle Gomez?
It's Michelle Watterson Gomez.
Michelle Watterson Gomez. Let her push you. Like let me push you. Lean on those people that want to see nothing but happiness and success for you. Like they will not let you fail.
Yeah. It's, you know, it, like for me, one of the real big things, and I'm not trying to make this about me. One of the things is like, who wants to, I mean, again, like, you know, who wants to have the feeling of fail? Like I heard Kev on Stage the other day say his Kev on Stage Studios app failed after 3 years, not because it wasn't profitable, but because, and it wasn't sustainable, just because it just morphed and evolved into something else. And I'm like, I don't want that. Even though in my head, I have like these grandiose ideas, because the Lord is like giving me like this crazy, like when I say I got crazy faith, I got insane faith. Like it's written on, I got the Why Not Me list on my mirror. I got insane faith. Like I want to own a Premier League team. Like that's, who says that? Who says?
Byron Craig does.
Byron Craig does say he wants to own a Premier League team. I want to own the Dallas Cowboys. I do.
But why can't you?
I will.
Why can't you still have your empire? Like, why can't you have all the things you've dreamed of, the home, the life that you've envisioned for yourself?
Yeah. Like
none of that is like just something to be thrown by the wayside. Like no, like it's up to us to go make it happen. Being believers, obviously, like, you know, we're not supposed to be in love with something like our more, you know, vanity possessions or anything like that. But it's like you can build an amazing life for yourself, like with the gifts God has given you. Yeah. And like, why can't that be your portion? Why can't being Premier League owner be like what happens?
Yeah. Why can't? Because again, I want to share. See, the thing is, I'm not like a selfish person. I want to share that with my friends. Like, hey, y'all get like 1% of 10%, and we can just. You can be a minority owner of a really dope Premier League team. Like,
and dude, like that's how I know you're giving, because now that you say that, it reminds me of the time I guess I was praying in huddle, or like we were just having huddle at church, and I don't know, like I started getting teary eyed, like just talking about like, man, like business is struggling right now, and you know, I think like the question you asked me after that is like, yeah, like how much money do you need to like make this thing work? And like, bro, like I wish I had it to just give to you. Like dump all the money into your lap just so you can sustain yourself, so you don't have to give up on your dream. Like, and this was at a time where I don't even know how long we had been working with each other. It was maybe just a few months.
Yeah,
like we definitely weren't as close as we are right now. But it's like, bro, I wish I could just give you your heart's desire. And so, like, for that to be your intention, I've heard you say that to other people, even on the bar. Like, you said it to other people. So it's like, he didn't just say it just to say. Like, he means it.
Like
Like,
I
I
mean
want
it.
all these things so I can give it away.
Yes. What's life? Why hold it all for myself? I want my whole life to be about making other people free or just having their dreams come true. That's what life is about. I don't having a nice house and, you know, many cars, that's cool, I guess. But like to see the look and be like, hey, I want to help make your dream come true. Like if I can say, hey, let me just give you $500,000 for K.Dotsoul, like, cool, man. Done. Book it.
Yeah.
I don't want no part. I don't want no part of your business. I just want to like bless it,
Pour into it,
and
like,
just go, hey, how can I now? I've given you the money. Now, how can I be of assistance? How can I help you with the resources that I have? How can I help you grow? What can I do? Plug it. Talk about it on the podcast. Whatever.
Yeah.
What
No,
can
I
I
mean
do?
that's and like I said, that's super dope, really, because not everybody's as generous. Like they I've amassed this great wealth for myself. Now I'm going to gatekeep so no one else can touch anything I've ever seen or done or have. So
Yeah. Gatekeeping to me, like I find gatekeeping, that's like a weird concept to me. Like how I got into photography, my friend Eric Williams taught me everything. A guy named Mohammed Lawal, King Mo Lawal, he actually saw some of the stuff that I was doing on Twitter at the time. And it was like, hey man, you need to reach out to this guy. Eric taught me literally from California, from Los Angeles, taught me everything almost that I know about photography, lighting. He would critique, I would send him photos. He would critique them. He would mark them up and be like, this sucks. This needs to be better. And that's how I learned how to do photography. That's how I learned to edit. That's how I learned everything, is just this guy not gatekeeping stuff from me, but teaching me. And I'm like, and then, you know, you have some people like, oh, you got to pay like $500 for my master class and I'll go over everything and I'll teach you all the things that you need to know in my master class. And I'm like, but the concept's the same. Rule of thirds, lighting, how to balance light.
it was like,
you're not teaching me anything different.
Like and I too have like gotten ads for those classes and like, man, like even like the free ones, they're like, they give you a lot of the fluff without actually giving you any real information. And then right when the good stuff is about to come out, video style's like, hey, here's the portion where you pay me $500, $700, $2,000, $5,000 for the real stuff that you were joining this video for or this webinar for. It's like, but it really is. It's not anything really to do with camera. It's all business related.
Yeah.
So if you have business acumen and you see someone just like thirsting for knowledge, there's no reason to like. Why can't we all win? Like that's my thing. Like why can't we all win? Like why can't we all have, you know, success?
Yeah. And I think
why hoard it for yourself if you figured out like a loophole or a trade secret or something like that?
I think that's what the problem with a lot of people is, especially creatives. They're afraid that someone else will come up who'll be better than them. And instead of just going, hey, we'll just fight it out. We'll duke it out as far as like creative competition wise. I celebrate your success. I'm not the greatest photographer. I know that. But like, I'm not afraid to like test myself against other great photographers.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. Like, I may not be the best. I may beat them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
and I don't even want to be the best photographer myself. I just want to live a life comfortable enough where my wife and my future children are well taken care of.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about money at all. But I'm not looking to be crazy wealthy. Like I don't need a Premier League. I'm gonna say that I don't need a Premier League team. I just want to be, in a good spot where the things I have to steward here on this earth are taken care of.
Yeah.
And that I get to enjoy what life has and not just be, stuck in whatever situation I'm in. Like, that's why being creative is so important, because like you can take your creativity anywhere. You can't take your job anywhere. But you can be creative on the moon. You can be creative in another country. You can be creative under the sea. Like you can do a whole lot of things for creativity, whatever your field may be. I just happen to fall into photography And so I know I'm not the best photographer. I just try to be a little bit better than I was the day before, and I don't even like I'm very much in a state where I'm figuring out like what my true identity is as a photographer.
Yeah.
I know what my goal is, and I think I've told you this before. Like I just want to make something that someone remembers, and I get to be like the one like, yo, that
That's
was
the
it.
dream.
I made that. Like that
Yeah.
was that billboard, that ad, that whatever that thing is. Like I just want to make something one day that people remember. Oh, who was the photographer on that project, or who was the creative director? Who designed it? Like who whatever. Like that was. I just want to be that guy. Like that's my dream with photography and being
Yeah.
a creative, is just to make something that stands the test of time. It doesn't
That's
have to be the Statue of David or anything, the Sistine Chapel. I don't care about that. I don't need it to last
sure.
centuries. But at least something that, like, at least while I'm here on Earth, I'm 80-year-old Kern, see someone remixing my thing from way back when, like, that would
Yeah.
be to me like super dope.
I think I do. I'm here. I'm all for it. If I can go and copy Eric and he copies Herb Ritz, I know in like 20, 30 years, there's going to be somebody who sees like a K.Dotsoul, or they're going to call it a Kern. I don't know. I think Kern is just it's like a simplistic, just, what is that? That's a Kern. That's a Kern.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna write that down. We're just gonna name all my projects now the Kern.
The Kern.
Until something sticks, it's called the Kern.
Have you seen that new exhibit out there? It's called the Kern. It's at the Met.
Oh yeah, that fancy place where all the people dress in weird costumes. Yeah. It's gonna be there.
Yeah,
it's gonna be there.
Yeah. What was the Mets thing? It was like Black Tailored Excellence or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll just call it the Kern, and they'll base it all on your photos.
Base it all on my photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the dream. Like I said, I mean, why otherwise be creative if people aren't going to remember it or like be inspired by it?
Of course.
So I just look to be, something that an inspiration for others. To like, hey, like, okay, he did it. It came late in life, but you know what? Like, not everyone's dreams come through at like 16, and like some people, like, they don't get their big break until like 40. Some people don't get it till 50. Like, you look at like John Legend, and you look at J.K. Rowling, and I know kind of name the word, bring word up, a weird name to bring up, but it's like these people later in life had their thing like finally blow up, and so like, me being older, I'm like, okay, that's inspiration to me. Like, okay, I know this journey is still like forming itself for me, and I'm still figuring out like a lot, but like one day it's just gonna like all be put together and like click, and yeah.
And I think the weirder thing is, we now, like, we're both 37, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like on the later half of life, but there's some people out there like, well, Colonel Sanders didn't get started till he was in the 60s. Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson didn't get started till he was in his 40s. Oprah. I mean, all these people, like, 20 years can change a lot.
A whole lot.
And you still have a whole lot of life left. Like, I'm like, I want to live to 120. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm almost 40. So that's like,
like I'm a third way there.
Yeah. I'm like technically like I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. Like I'm an infant, really. I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah. So when you start like
putting like 120, but I'm like, I'm like an adolescent teen, if anything.
Yeah. So, yeah. Exactly. Like I'm almost in my I'm almost in my 30-ishes out there, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to be like one of those like old 120-year-olds, like, that are not like walking around like hobbling in like the little chair. I want to be like one of like the ones that are kind of move, laugh, joke, jovial. And I just want to go when I need to go. When the Lord says, all right, cool, you've had enough fun.
Come on. Yeah. I mean, what's the point of life if you don't have fun, and you don't want to get old and be incapable of living life, like no, like I got years and I got experience. Like I'm gonna make sure people know that like my presence is felt wherever I am, whether it's from my own children, my grandchildren, people around me. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's a cool old dude." Like he's he's very spry for his age.
Exactly. That's all we want. We want to be spry for our age. Yeah.
Indeed.
It's the move, man.
That's the move.
That's it. Simple as that. Spry, young, creative, leaving legacies. That's what we doing here.
That's the goal. That's the vision. So,
you know what? You can do it. You will do it. I believe in you.
I appreciate that. And I really genuinely do appreciate that because I really truly believe that you actually mean what you say when you say it. So I thank you for that.
I ain't got no reason to lie. And then we'll get you that 1% ownership of Chelsea.
1% is a lot. I'll take it. I'll take it. Of course. I mean, how much is Chelsea worth? Like what? Probably like $3 billion?
Probably too much.
Maybe too much?
Probably too much. Like if I was going to buy a Premier League team, I would buy Man City. I mean, that's just my team. If I was going to buy something. But Chelsea, I don't know. You kept talking about blue. I see the blue in the background and I'm like.
Yeah. The
Chelsea.
You might be better off buying Man U right now than being able to buy Man City.
So technically, you can buy some Manchester City stock. Like you can. Their ticker symbols like Man U.
Oh, I did not even know that. I didn't know they were publicly traded.
They are.
That's crazy to me that they sold the rights to the team.
I mean, not all of it, but like
not all of it, but like there's still. Hey.
You can buy Juventus. Like if you're international, you can buy Juventus stock. If you like Serie A.
Yeah, they don't have that on the.
It's not New York. Not on the New York Stock Exchange for sure.
No, but that's super cool though. Like that would be cool. Like I said, definitely to own like a legit football team.
Yeah.
Or to be, we just gotta talk to what's his name. I was about to say Ryan Gosling. It's not Ryan Gosling.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, like, hey man, like you got famous enough to buy a soccer team, like,
dude. They did it. They did it right. They bought a club for $2 million. Now it's worth probably 10 times that. Because now they're in the championship.
That may be where you start. Like Chelsea might be not Chelsea. Sorry, Man City might be the dream, but maybe you start off with a smaller club and. Not maybe the Premier League, but
I don't know. I mean, I'm open to whatever. I just know the one big purchase I would love to make is the Dallas Cowboys. Like that part.
I mean, Jerry's gonna have to sell it at some point. So
he's gonna have to, and I'm gonna be standing there with a truck full of money. Hey, here's $20 billion.
Oh gosh.
Now. I want it, but see, I want everything. I want the stadium. I'm gonna take it from the city of Arlington. I want the stadium. I want the land. I want everything.
I want the star in the colony.
I do. I want it all. I want all of it, and then I want to be able to just then do what I want with it, and which is to bring in artists to make it dope.
Could you think you can pack out the Dallas Cowboys stadiums with nothing but creatives for like a day?
Yep.
And
I bet I could.
What do you think? Oh my gosh, that would be a crazy day. Like putting a whole bunch of different artists in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and I don't know. I guess that'd be an expo, or like what do we even do together? I mean, but
if you really wanted to, you could go, hey everybody, come through. We'll divvy you up into sections. Let's just make this stadium, like obviously we have to keep it on brand. Gotta be Cowboys brand. But you just do whatever creative thing you think, hallways, restrooms, like just make it an experience because like this is a creative space where creative things happen on a football field, but other events happen here. Concerts happen here, monster truck shows, but just have fun with it. Like just express yourself in the realm of Dallas Cowboys and AT&T Stadium, which is going to be renamed Big Break Stadium.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be Cowboys Stadium at all. It's just going to be Big Break.
It's going to be Big Break Stadium.
I could do Big Break now. Cowboys, I might be like, yeah, I was sick that day. that day. I don't know. I wanted to come through. I was right down the street. I was thinking about it. I bought my ticket, but sorry, I guess I lost it. My bad.
Oh well. I don't know. Globe Life Park. Have you ever been to the Globe Life Park?
I have been. So big baseball guy too. So like I love baseball. Yankees fan.
Oh, you're just
Yankees
the East
blue.
Coast
Someone say
guy.
that Cowboys blue.
You're just an East Coast guy. Yankees, Miami, University of Miami.
So well, hang on. I have a hockey team.
Is it
The
the Nashville Predators?
Colorado Avalanche. And the Stars unfortunately just knocked us out again
Sure
for like
did.
the third or fourth year in a row. So congrats to you all for that.
Go Stars, go!
Anybody here likes hockey, but no, big Avs guy. They have blue in their team stuff. Blue is just a really big part of my life. I based a lot of things off of like aesthetics.
Do you really?
Oh no, I really don't. This is just
okay.
like the only thing that really matters. Like everyone has a favorite color. I just happen to pick my favorite sports teams based off of my favorite color, not knowing anything about the team, players, or anything at all from when I chose them as a little kid. I've done a lot of different weird things as a little kid, but picking my sports teams based off of color, like their uniform, that was
not weird. I mean, it's like back in the day, the Seattle Supersonics, they were green, but they had one of the dopest jerseys.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
I actually got a Supersonics jersey.
Do you really? Is it Sean Kemp?
I no longer have it. It was oh my gosh, who was it? Or I don't even remember, but yeah, I was also that guy in high school. Like it was either a jersey or a polo. Like
no,
I had that phase where it was just nothing but jerseys, nothing but polos. You know, we all had the 3X white tees and stuff like that. We all had that era. But yeah, like in high school, I can go like a good like 2-3 weeks easy, just wearing a different jersey every day.
I have so many jerseys in my closet of like old school players: Troy Polamalu, Brandon Jacobs, Terrell Owens. I got my dad.
I have a signed TO 49ers jersey.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it framed?
No, it's not framed at all. I came upon it. So like there was a guy who was just giving away jerseys. I guess he was just trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff. And he had a TO jersey. And I don't know if he realized he gave me the signed one. Yeah. But he just had a randomly signed one. It wasn't in frame or anything, but it's like, yeah, you can have it.
Okay, appreciate you, guy. Yeah. Appreciate that.
I was like, I think I put it on, but I've never actually like worn it outside the house. But it's just hanging up in my closet.
Wow.
Like one of these days I'll get rid of my jersey collection, but no, it's just gonna stay there.
Yeah, at one point at one of the lowest parts of my life, I tried to pawn all my jerseys. LeBron's like original Cavs jersey. All those, the Brandon Jacobs one has the Super Bowl patch and everything when they won. Mm. You know what the pawn shop would give me? Zero. They were like, this is worthless. I was like, it's a Super Bowl jersey.
It's a Super Bowl.
It is an on-field super. All the jerseys are on-field. I'm like, it's an on-field Super Bowl jersey with the patch. The year they won the Super Bowl, nothing.
Not $1.
I got Adrian Peterson's number 28 from the Vikings in there. Nothing. Like you could go have this dude sign it, and then it becomes worth something.
Something.
And they're like,
but they're like, yeah, I don't have the clientele for that.
No,
take it to a different shop.
This was literally just like a random pawn shop in the middle of Central Arlington back in like early 2000s.
Central Arlington, you're messing up. That's why the Cowboys are gonna leave Arlington one day.
No. Probably. They probably will. Where they'll go? Probably Frisco.
No, they can't because Universal Studios is going there.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll go somewhere. They'll go somewhere.
They're too popular to go under. So
but also leaving, like how they've built it up down there, it's too nice to leave. With Texas Live, you got like 3 stadiums. Like right there. It's really hard to just go, nope, we're leaving. We're going to go to the middle of nowhere, build it again.
And people will come though. It doesn't matter. Like people will follow them to the ends of earth. Like Now, if they ever left Dallas, that would be.
They couldn't. I always thought that they could go take over the Cotton Bowl and just because that's Dallas proper, and then they could just like, you can't really tear down the Cotton Bowl, but I don't know, figure out a way to do that. Maybe get rid of the fair. I don't know. Maybe get rid of some of Fair Park or some of that area that's down there in the Cedars. I don't know. Who knows?
Only Jerry knows what he wants to do.
Well, I have to think because I'm going to own them, so I got to pre-think like
true.
in the future too.
True. That's true. This is only temporary. Jerry, I just want to let you know your time's almost up because Byron Craig and Big Break are coming. And,
we are
a wrecking ball, and he's going to build something that you can't build.
Yeah. I appreciate that encouragement. We're going to do that. Let's wrap this thing up. If the good people want to follow your journey, hire you, support you, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, I am old, so I'm not on all the platforms. I like to keep it very, very chill, so I keep just my IG and my website.
That's all you need.
Yeah, you can find me K.Dotsoul Photos _ Instagram. Easiest thing is just hit the link, take you to my email, my website, all the ways to contact me. And then you can see me alongside this guy in Social Dallas Photography Team every Sunday.
There you go. And if you notice, I didn't make a single Android joke. I went the whole time.
I'll give you that. It's my. I get it every Sunday. Today was my day off, but the fact that you brought it up feels like a slap in the face.
No, I'm just letting you know publicly that I can go for an hour and 12 minutes basically without talking about green bubbles.
One day, hopefully Apple will fix that, and there'll be no more East Coast, West Coast hate between Android and Apple.
No more discrimination.
Live in a very nice, lovely existence, a utopia of sorts, and just whatever message or app you have doesn't make you different.
It doesn't. Just makes you unique. That's it.
Just makes you unique. Because I have the freedom and creativity to be able to do that, but
I like it.
No, I appreciate you having me on. I thank you again. This was fun.
This was fun.
Hopefully, we get to do it again or something in the future. So
that's how I used to end my old podcast. I always tell people like, "This was fun. Let's do it again." That's funny that you said that. I mess up. I almost said my old podcast name in the beginning. At the end, you say the ending. It's like it was meant to be. Okay,
it was meant to be.
Okay, Lord, just the encouragement that was needed. All right. I appreciate you, bro. I love you big time, man.
Love you too.
All right. Bye, everybody. Peace. See you next week with Michelle Watterson Gomez. Whoop, whoop.